All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Tennessee Titans. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, look at that. Oh, now he bowls him over. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Looking to throw on 2nd down. David in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Green 17. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Let's go.
1st down, Winston. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there at 22. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go now.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
A first down throw for Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Third and long for Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Play action. David. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up. Now the ball comes loose. And that might be Titan football. It is. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
A first red zone opportunity for the Titans. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Following the interception, Winston. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. In for the score. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
Ryan Suckup on for the point after. Extra point put through by Suckup, and the lead grows to 10-0. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Hurry up, here we go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to the air on second down. David, and he hits Drake. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. David. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. On the return, it's McCluster. With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gault. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A 1st down carry for Henry. Running right through it. And he'll running right through it. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down. And we were down on the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads. I mean, you get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit. He is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. And when he gets rolling, he's a lot to bring down.
Hey, sub. Let's go.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ready.
They go play action. Winston. And now he'll tuck it and run. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. So they're challenging the spot. If you're a coach, you hesitate to throw the flag anytime it's a spot discernment.
You certainly do, because you feel like that's not one you're likely to win, and you may need that challenge flag for later in the game.
Let's go now. Ready. Blue ready. Let's go.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And now out comes Houston. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Throwing to start the drive. David, he's letting this one go for 4. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. 47 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Gone.
On 1st and 10. David. It's caught. Michael Pruitt. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw. David. And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
On the give, this is their fullback. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And sometimes it doesn't matter how big and strong and powerful you are. The defense is going to win an occasional battle, and they did on that one. Stopped him well short of picking up a first down.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And now out comes Houston. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Watch it now, Barney.
On 2nd down, Collins. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll try and run forward with Collins. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Set. Green 39.
They go play action here on first down. And it's complete. It's Alex Collins. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
3-19!
Off the play fake, David. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Here's Marquette King now, as he's on to punt for Houston. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Final play of the half here, Winston. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Titans now. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. B.J. Goodson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the gun, Winston. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. The Titans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. Working out of the gun, Winston. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Taken from just outside the 30. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far.
Here we go.
They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on second down, David. He rifles one that's intercepted. Rashard Robinson with a pick. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. He has been interception prone here in his rookie season. How patient can they be with him?
That is the key question, isn't it? A lot of it depends on the head coach, what type of defense you have, and just a general understanding of the makeup of him. But the bottom line is you posed a great question. Are they at the stage where they've run out of patience and now they get to demand production? Or do you continue to stay with him this way?
Jameis to throw it. Try to lay one up deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Play action now, Winston. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Mark Andrews, his second touchdown on the season. And the Titans capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point up and good by Suckup. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Looking to throw. David. Open man is Uzama. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone.
Throwing on third and long. David. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was affected, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
That good for 22 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Jameis now on first down. It's complete to the tight end Walker, right side. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Winston going for the deep ball. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. They give him a gain of 37.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So 2nd and goal, and the big man Henry alone in the backfield. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Titans. They've got the football. They'll be looking to extend their lead here as we begin the 4th quarter. The Titans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. Winston. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now Collins. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Texans on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Operating from the gun, David. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Dan Cruikshank. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. To throw, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw again, David. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Fuller. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10.
Gone!
From the gun, David. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. David. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave them with a long 4th and goal. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This is a 26-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the 2nd half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sail, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. Winston now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Winston. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Winston. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
Now Winston. He hits McCluster complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Here's Winston. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And here comes the Texans now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. Now the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
On 1st down, David. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
3-19.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. A big-time play there for the Texans. 61 yards that time on the ground. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. They keep it with Yeldon on 1st down. Yeldon fighting. He lost the football. And that might be Titan football. It is.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. Following the fumble recovery, David. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. To give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
After the penalty, it's Yeldon. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Tennessee, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for Houston, the rough season continues as they've plunged to 1-13. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Franchise. Franchise.